Today, I have something really exciting for you. Something absolutely exhilarating. Something heartbreakingly beautiful, spine-tingling, and hair-raising. That's right. New pens. Well, let's get to it. How exciting is that? Here we have the Jinhao X450 and the Jinhao 999. As you can see here, this one has the power soulstone in it. Pretty cool. Some Chinese characters around it, and it is obviously heavily inspired by those cannons they used in Mulan. But I'll give them a pass for it just because it looks so cool. In fact, that's the main reason why I ordered it. The designs on this are very intricate. This is a very heavy pen. This whole thing seems to be made of metal. I'm going to look at both of these. Yeah, so these are both made by Jinhao. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. From China by way of Goulet Pens. Just want to be clear, they didn't send these to me for free. I bought these with my own hard-earned money. This X450 is $9.50 on Goulet Pens website. Okay, that's pretty affordable as far as a lot of fountain pens go. Not as far as regular pens go, I guess, the ones you could use from the dollar store. And then this Jinhao 999 is a little bit more expensive, clocking in at around $29.50 plus tax, I suppose. But they both look really good. This one is almost intimidatingly heavy. It feels like it would be a little bit scary to write with it. This one posts very well. The back cap actually screws onto the back of it. That's solid posting right there, right? It can never fall off. You can't just pull it off. It screws onto the front also. All right, so that's good. Very well constructed, it feels like. It just feels solid, okay? And this one doesn't actually post that well. You can cram it on the back, but if you wiggle it just a tiny bit, it'll just fall off again, which is a little bit sad. Everyone likes a pen that posts really well. You don't have to worry about the cap falling right off the back. Okay, so that's maybe a little bit of a downside, but what we need to see is if these pens write well. I think this is the exact same nib. These nibs probably are interchangeable. You can go get all sorts of different nibs for these, and they come with piston converters in them, I think. Let me see. Yep. Look at that. This one is fairly nondescript. It does say Jinhao on it right here, and then it screws up and down like that, which I like. And then this one, if we unscrew it, this is maybe a slightly nicer, maybe it just looks nicer, I'm not sure. Oops. This one, the piston converter, actually has their little horse and chariot symbol on it, right there. And it works the same way, of course. All right, so what I think I want to do is put some ink in both of these and see how they write. You can get the 999 in several different colors and designs, and I think the X450 comes in even more colors and designs. I'm not sure if this red is actually my favorite color, but I went ahead and got it just because I have so many other plain looking pens, so I wanted something a little bit different just so I can tell them apart at a quick glance when I see them all in my pen drawer. What kind of problem is that? Can you guys hear the dogs barking in the background? Kind of drives me crazy. All right, so for the X450, I'm going to put some Waterman ink in it. My well is almost dry. I think I need to tilt it at an angle because it's so shallow. I don't have enough in there. Screw it down. Screw it up. Slower maybe. All right, now I got some ink in there. Some people like filling their pens by taking this part out. and then just filling the actual reservoir. I like sticking the whole nib in there. That way it'll write quicker, because you know that the whole nib is loaded with ink because you filled it up through the nib. You have to wipe it off like this, but that's not a problem for me. All right, let's reassemble it. Screws on there nicely. This part is, I mean, it feels solid. This one is not, I mean, it's nice and heavy. Like, it doesn't feel cheap or plastic. I mean, I can't really tell what it's made of, but it could be plastic. It doesn't feel light like some of my other pens, though. Doesn't really mean, I mean, I don't know what that means, but. And then in the 999, I'm going to put this Monteverde Ruby. It's an ink that has given me some problems in some other pens, but I'm not sure if it was actually the pen that was giving me a problem. So I've been continuing to try it in other pens just as more of a trial and error thing, right? And then we're going to do some drawing with both of these, and maybe I can combine both the red and the black inks together in one drawing, do kind of a two-tone thing perhaps. Oh yeah, there we go. Really love how bright and vibrant this red ink is. It does this weird thing where it kind of crusts up on the tip of the pen nib as it's drying, like with the pen nib cap on, but it's okay. Oh yeah, look at it go. That's satisfying right there. I could just draw on paper towels all day and I'd just be satisfied to see the ink seeping out across the paper towel. Oh yeah. All right. Let's always recap your ink bottles so you don't have disaster strike. We can reassemble this now. I mean, that's a really good looking pen. Is there a way to hold both of these in my hand at the same time to get a cool shot? I mean, these are good looking pens. I'm a sucker, I'll admit I'm a sucker for these gold nibs. I like the gold nibs. They're just good looking nibs. I mean, a nice nondescript nib is good too, but yeah, I don't know. I think they look good. I'll admit this Jinhao 999 might be more for one just for having on the desk for special occasions, just because I feel like it's so heavy. But let's give it a shot. I have my little practice sketchbook here, my little notebook here. Let's see. Test. I'm not much of a calligrapher, I'll admit. I might be buying pens for different reasons than other people buy pens. If that's not obvious already from my previous videos, some people like calligraphy pens that, you know, they what's it called? Flex a lot. So they can do cool, you know, like calligraphy things and special little swoops and swirls and stuff. I more like pens for their drawing ability. This one, as you can see, drew immediately, first try, first line. It's not skipping at all, at least so far. It's doing well for me, but I will say it's far heavier in my hand than almost any other pen I own. There could be some exceptions, but I can't think of any other pens that are heavy. And not that that makes it bad for drawing, it's just a lot different. Okay, draws fast. Good. I love this shade of ink, by the way. Oh, I just realized even the dragons here have little red jewels in their eyes. Those are cool little details. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Thankfully, when you grip it, you pretty much only grip this part, you know? So all these weird, gnarly details don't really dig into your hand or anything. I'm really, this cap keeps rattling loose. I'm just going to put it right there. Test. Oh, this one's even smoother than the other one, but it could just be because it, I don't know, what's the difference? If it's the same exact nib, right? So what's the difference? It feels lighter in my hand. The ink is different. Let's see. It could be. Just the weight of the pen itself makes it feel heavier and dig into the paper a little more. Is that it? It definitely feels different, even though it's the same exact nib, I'm pretty sure. Same nib. New in box. These pens don't come in any fancy gift boxes or anything, which I am a-okay with because I always throw those away immediately anyways, and I feel like it artificially inflates the cost of the pen. Sometimes those boxes look nicer than the pens themselves, so I'm totally fine with nice fountain pens like these not coming in boxes. They just came in little bags. And if you buy from Goulet, you get a little sucker too, a little Tootsie Pop. So there's things I like about both of these. But let's get to drawing now, all right? Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer it. I'm not a fountain pen expert by any stretch of the imagination, which people are more than happy to point out, of course. I just have some fountain pens, and I like using them sometimes, and I like to show them to you, okay? So let's get started. So I did most of my little experimental doodle here with the X450 since it's cheaper, only $9 or $10 more approachable and attainable for most people. And as you can see here, if you don't have the cap on the front or back of it, it spins very well. If you want to Beyblade a bit with it, you can. However, as you might notice later in the video, you'll see that this happens. You have to be very careful because if you spin it too fast, I made this mistake. I spun it right in the middle of a half-drawn drawing, and I guess that's just the nature of fountain pens. I spun it really fast, and some ink flung out of it across my drawing. Thankfully, I managed to rescue it, as you can see here. It was just one of those happy accidents. But I will tell you, both of these pens performed really well. Okay, I had no problems with them as far as how they drew lines. There was no skipping, spitting, sputtering, spattering, smattering, stammering, stuttering, spluttering, stumbling, or any other problems with ink flow. All right, no problems that I've had from many other pens, many other much more expensive and maybe you could say high-class pens, right? So I'm often very hesitant to recommend art supplies because I think that it's often so it really comes down to personal preference, right? But if you're looking for a $9.50 pen, it might be cheaper on like Amazon or something. Always shop around a bit, look on some of those other pen websites, maybe Jet Pens, stuff like that. I don't know, stuff like this could be available in, like, if you live near a stationery store, some sort of specialty pen shop, I don't know. Go shop around a little, do your research, do your due diligence, and, but yeah, if you want a pen like this, I would recommend this pen. One minor downside, I found out about both these pens a little bit from my experience here with both of them, and from what people were telling me, is that both of these pens, the X450 and the 999, the 999, I'm not sure the best way to say it, 999, both of these pens work best without the cap on the back of them. In fact, the X450, someone told me you can actually damage it by trying to force the pen cap on the back of it. Trying to post this pen can damage it. There's a little there's like a white insert in the cap of the pen, and apparently if you try to force that on the back of the pen too much, it can crack it and damage it. And so you probably shouldn't do that because it doesn't really stay on there anyways. So that's kind of a downside for me, because if you can't keep the pen lid on the back of the pen, you're more likely to lose it. It's just one more like little piece of clutter lying around, right? And for the 999, it works better without the pen cap on the back of the pen, because if you have it on the back there, it's just so heavy in your hand, right? If I take it off and have it lying by the side, it's much more usable, for me at least. That said, both of these pens, they still feel very good in your hand without the pen cap. Some pens, like my Coeco Sport, you really kind of want to put the pen cap on the back so that it gives it that extra length and it really feels better in your hand while you're using it that way. But these pens, they feel fine without the pen cap on the back. Everything went well. Okay, so that's just like a little minor hiccup for me, but I just thought I'd say it. I didn't end up using the 999 too much, but that's mostly because as I went in after I finished doing the drawing with the black Waterman ink, I wanted to add some highlights with the red Monteverde ink, but it turns out I think these two inks didn't get along too well. Maybe it's because the Waterman ink is water soluble, not waterproof, I guess. And so as I combined, as the red ink touched the black ink would kind of be absorbed up into some of the red ink, and the red ink wouldn't stay as vibrant as I wanted it to. As I wanted to like draw, color in some of the little gaps and make little red highlights in some places, and I couldn't do that as much as I wanted to because it just turned into really dark, really, really, really dark red spots that didn't pop like I wanted it to. So that was more of an ink problem than a pen problem, but that's okay. I still managed to make some little highlights there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with these. There was, like I said, they feel really well constructed. There are some little, I will say there are some little golden bands on the 999, like around that part with the big red gem on it. Obviously just plastic, I assume that the gem is. I don't think, maybe like, I don't think it's anything really valuable. But that little band with the Chinese characters on it, then the little golden bands next to that, those do feel a little bit loose. I could touch them and they'd rattle a little bit. Again, not really a problem. Just saying that to say it. I still like it. Doesn't make me like it any less. But yeah, I mean, I'd recommend these pens. If you want them, I'd say there's no reason not to get them, except that, this is probably just fueling your obsession with fountain pens, and then you're just going to get more and more fountain pens. There's just too many fountain pens out there, aren't there? Just so many. Anyways, I'm going to stop now because I hear a fire truck coming. I live near a fire station, and so many of these fire trucks come by, so there's going to be loud sirens soon. So this is just a little video now. Little drawing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions, and I probably won't know. All right. See y'all. Okay. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Have a good day. Goodbye. I think the fire trucks actually went the other way. All right. See ya. So I could keep talking now, but I won't. I think I said whenever I end these videos, I always think of something I should have said, but it's okay. All right. See y'all later. Bye.